Unlocking BAM and getting the Razor Crest is an absolute pivotal point if you're going for an Executor Rush farm, and that's exactly what I'm doing on my free-to-play account. And I know it's been a while since I've updated you all on this, but I just did it, so I wanted to go over how you can unlock BAM and the Razor Crest with absolute minimum gear investment. Let's do this. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my free-to-play account, the Scribble account. It's still going strong. We're slowly working our way towards Executor, and I've just unlocked Beskar Mando. I was pretty surprised. There are 0 zetas on this team, and they're gear 8. I don't even have all the abilities maxed out. We don't even have all of the Omegas, none of that business, and we managed to get it done, and it wasn't too difficult. The last tier is certainly the hardest one, but today I'm going to go over all the modding, how to beat each individual stage, and hopefully you will be able to unlock your Razor Crest without too much difficulty. Now, I do not advise trying to go in this low gear to try and get it done, but those of you that are particularly sweaty, I'm just trying to show you what's possible. And my mods are not good. I've not been farming mods on this account because I'm just a terrible player. As you can see over here, we've got like 255. This is my mod set for the final stage, but we'll go over that later. Yep, let's just do it stage by stage. So, stage 1, we are using BAM and IG-12, and this one's relatively easy. Now, I will just briefly go over the modding. 255 speed, and I've got 1800 offense. We've got the fully maxed out Swift Shot, fully maxed out Transpierce. Leadership is up to level 7, so is his Discipline Bounty Hunter unique and his payout. That's mostly because I use this guy in the Bounty Hunter team regardless. Over here we've got IG-11. I typically just like him to have speed and a bit of health, but nothing too crazy. Over here you can see we don't even have his special or his unique maxed out over here, so they're just at level 7 because Omegas are a crunch. This first one, really not so bad. You can pretty much just power through, use the big special over here from our boy IG, try to take out units as quickly as possible because that's all we really need to do. Just go ahead and shoot some people, defeat some people, and defeat some people. We've got enough speed at this point to actually loop the entire team and take them out before they can do anything. And we get to use the cool little mounted turret. I do feel like this is one of the events that CG did that is actually better than their normal events. They actually put a lot into it. You never get to see this stuff anymore, get to use, you know, unique little turrets and things like that. It's cool, it makes a difference. Tier 1, it's an absolute cakewalk, guys, don't worry about it. And such cool animations, man. Like, I remember when the original Mandalorian season was coming out, and playing this after that, it was just so cool to see the actual events of the show represented. We need more animations like this in the game. Come on, CG. Tier 2 then, we are just using our Mando. We're going up against the Mudhorn, where BAM actually earns, or Mando actually earns, his crest for his own faction of the Mandalorians. This is, again, really cool little interaction over here, replicating what we did in the actual event. Now, I'm just going to hit auto. There's not a whole lot you can do. There's no real nuance to this battle. It's just more of a cinematic than anything else, let's be honest. Now we get to see Grogu just lift this bad mama jamma right out of the air. Such a cool moment in the show, and cool to see it represented in the game as well, right? Good old Grogu. Moving on to tier 3 then, absolutely nothing has changed over here. We're just going to go straight into the battle. There's no real point in using Whistling Birds. Honestly, I'd almost just go auto basic here, because you're not going to build up enough stacks of Whistling Birds to do any real amount of damage. This is not a tough battle. Auto basic should see you through it, pretty much guaranteed. If you are a little bit worried about your BAM losing all of his max health and protection, you can use the damage immunity ability, the second special, just to heal up and protect yourself. But honestly, you shouldn't have to worry too much. Auto basic is probably the quickest way to get through this. Come on, stage 2, not so bad. Come on then, let's be seeing you, Grief. Goodness grief. I mean, we can one-tap people at this point, more or less. More or less one-tap people. There we go, another one down. Another one down. Come on. I'm going to let Grief go back into stealth because I can't be bothered to deal with him going in and out of stealth, so I don't worry about trying to take him out too quickly. He's gone anyway. Auto basic all the way through. Not a difficult tier at all. Tier 4 is where it starts to get a little bit tricky because this time there is something to worry about. Cara Dune over here can, in fact, be defeated. And if she's defeated, you lose the entire wave, okay? So we are going to use our specials here. Spam away. Spam, spam, spam. If you're worried about your Cara Dune dying, mine is only gear 8, as we saw before. You can use that second special ability. I'm just trying to save her specials right now for the second wave, so we can try and build up a little bit more of the Whistling Birds this time. Alright, so into Whistling Birds at the start of the phase. We're going to throw the grenades. That's going to give us up to 6 Whistling Birds, and then I'm just going to focus it all on the ATST over here. All I'm going to do is focus on the ATST for now. Hopefully, Mark lands on BAM, or Spotted, sorry. Mark lands on BAM and not on Cara Dune. Just use our basics here. Yeah, let's spam our specials. I was thinking about saving it for when we have our Whistling Birds again, but honestly, it's not really a big deal. When you can, focus the ATST because he's the only real threat in this battle. We'll go back into Whistling Birds over here. We'll throw out another set of grenades. We'll take some damage, and once again, Whistling Birds on the ATST. Wonderful, focusing on the ATST. Let's get that damage immunity up just for fun. Once again, throw out some bombs. There goes the extra dude, and we should be okay from here. Bam, even tanking hits with that damage immunity from the ATST. Easy money, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, unfortunately, he doesn't die to the dots. But yeah, if they target Cara Dune and defeat her, it is unfortunately the end of this wave, but you shouldn't have too much trouble. Such a great moment. Man, this is definitely one of the better events that CG has done, don't you think? Okay, so the Queel tier is very different. You can't win it per se, rip spoilers, but what you want to do is you want to mod your Queel to be as fast as possible with potency, alright? So that's how I did it. So if you can, filter by speed set and potency set, something like that. Let's just get anything that has got speed on the primary and potency on the secondary for the arrow. Let's take a look. Looks like, what have we got here? If I actually sort this by potency. So we've got one on BAM over here. Let's go ahead and apply that. Now don't forget, you might want to swap this around. Queel isn't used in the last phase. You might want to swap this around after you've gone to the next stage, get your mods back in place. Let's go ahead and sort this by speed. You definitely want as much speed as possible. And over here with IG11, then if I can maybe find potency on the cross as well, that's going to be the way we do it. So we've got a potency cross over there on Cara Dune, wonderful, and now it's just going to be speed and hopefully potency. I want to be as quick as possible. As quick as possible and as potent as possible. Wonderful. What are we looking at? 227 speed, and we've got, what, 60% potency. That should be enough at gear 8. No maxed out abilities. We've got 7 on the basic, only 2 on Voltaic Shot, and 7 on I Have Spoken and 7 on Frontier Wisdom. Gear 8 with no extra gear pieces equipped. All right, so what do we have to do here? The main aim of the game is we want to start off with a stun and land the stun. Great, the speed down also really helps. Then we use I Have Spoken. That's going to give us speed up and some TM. And then we just go back, stun again. And this is all it is, guys. You just want to try and control the enemy team, constantly stunning at least one of these units. When we use that I Have Spoken, we should get some protection recovery, which is going to help us survive. We need to get these 31 turns in so that we can use the event special ability, essentially. I'm just swapping between the units right now, just to try and make sure I don't take too much damage. So we've managed to heal up quite nicely here. Let's go ahead and stun over here. Wonderful. This is why it's important to mod for potency, so you can actually land some of these stuns. Stun once again. Beautiful. Only a basic here. Let's get another stun over here. And I Have Spoken. And once you've got round to that event special ability, we'll just use that, and that's going to see us through. So one more turn should do the trick. There we go. I Have Spoken, we have done it, Devoted Protector, booyah, and that's it. Big, big Sag for our boy Queel. Good times, good times. Sad, sad moment though, right? And then finally, the last tier. This is where it's tricky, especially if you're trying to do it like me. Don't advise this, like I said. BAM or rather OG Mando and Grief Cargo are both fantastic units, ladies and gentlemen. They make good progress within a bounty hunter team, worth it in the long run no matter what. So if you want to, just continue to invest. The whole team is pretty decent, truth be told, but those two at the very minimum, you could take up to gear 12, you could even go into relics, and it would not be a waste of your resources. I'm literally putting this out there just so people can see if it's possible if they need that quick and early BAM unlock, okay? That's literally all I'm doing this for. So, nuance to this. what you want to do is you want to get your turn order correct, okay? Modding properly for this is going to be pivotal if you're trying to do it like I am, with low gear, low ability investment, no zetas, you know, minimum scraping the bottom of the barrel here. So, Beskar Mando is going to be the guy that goes first. You need him to be the fastest. You want him to go into Whistling Birds first. After that, you want your IG-11 to go next, and then it doesn't really matter between Cara Dune and Grief Karga. Personally, I think Grief should be faster to cycle through his turns to get more heals and more mass assists off, but still have your Cara Dune pretty quick. So, turn order for me, I've gone for essentially speed, and you want, if you can, try and put some offense on him, some damage capabilities. At this low gear level, you want to look for mods that have got flat offense abilities, because percentile offense isn't really going to pump your numbers very high. So mine's at 257. These are not good mods, guys. You see, I've got a 30 speed on the arrow over here, 17 speed over here with crit chance. The mods are just not great. And then we've got protection modded here with speed. If you can do this with offense percentile and this sort of speed, you'll be laughing, mate. 11 speed over here with a little bit of offense on it, 18 speed, and 15 speed. As you can see, not great, but that one actually has got some flat offense on it, 103 offense there. Next up, we've got IG-11. I like to have him second fast because his first special taunts, but not only that, it's an AoE tenacity down, which kind of guarantees that we get the stuns from Cara Dune. Okay, so maxed on the basic, level 7 on the rest of the abilities. He has got 224 speed, and he's got a little bit of health and protection. That's kind of it. Make him tanky if you can so he can survive. More max health is better because his heal over here is based on his max health. So the more max health he has, the better off you'll be. Next up, we got Cara Dune. She's got level 7 on her basic Rune Brawler. I think it's quite nice to have the Omega ability on her first special because that will guarantee stuns against the 2 Stormtroopers. Unfortunately, the rest of the team seems to be immune to stuns, which is really, really rude of CG because they're not normally. And then we've got level 7 on the other abilities. If you've got a Spear Zeta and you want to throw it on this ex-Rebel Shock Trooper, that will give her a source of revives, which will make this a bit easier for you. But overall, she's just 221 speed and a bit of damage, a bit of potency. You don't really need potency because they're going to have tenacity down all the time. Now, I'm not going to pretend like no luck goes into this. At this low gear level, there is going to be luck based on, you know, what turn order does the enemy go in, what abilities does characters like Grief use. But essentially, you want to start off going into Whistling Birds, use the first special from IG-11. That's going to give us a lot of stacks. Then we use that first special, or the only special, from Cara Dune. It should stun both the Stormtroopers because they do have tenacity down, thanks to IG-11's AoE. The rest, they don't get stunned because they must be immune to stuns, even though the normal kits are not immune to stuns, okay? If they weren't immune to stuns, it would say resisted. They've got tenacity down, so it should only be a 15% chance maximum for them to rest. They're just immune, guys, all right? But you'll see we've got 18 stacks of Whistling Birds right now. Now, I place that Retribution up here. I use the second special of Grief because I was hoping that he would do an attack and we would counterattack. If he does his AoE and puts Daze out, it's kind of null and void. Okay, so they do a mass assist over here on Queel on IG-11. We can't counterattack that ability. And I just place all your Whistling Birds into Grief because all you have to do is defeat Moff Gideon. All you have to do is defeat Moff Gideon in order to win this event, okay? So all the damage goes into him, and then I just try to keep people alive. That second special of IG-11 does give us Foresight, which is very useful because if we can evade any of the AoE attacks, particularly like the burning from this Flame Trooper over here, then it means our survivability is so much better. Okay, then we're just cycling through turns over here, get that mass assist. Oh no, I think I saved. No, I did use the mass assist. Okay, so we mass assist on the Stormtrooper, the burning comes out, but because we had that Foresight, completely missed us. We can't avoid the actual burn itself. So I'm protecting Cara Dune, I think here. No, I guess not. I protect IG-11, and we get a nice little counterattack. We are very fortunate that Cara Dune actually survived that hit. Every time you have that second special available, just use it, throw it out. All we're trying to do right now is cycle back round to some turns with BAM to get into Whistling Birds to hopefully get some AoEs off and do some good damage, okay? So we can't get around the taunt on Stormtrooper just now. We're just going to have to focus on him continually. And there we go, BAM, back into Whistling Birds. And now you have to hope. You have to hope he doesn't get triggered too early. All right, so I heal up Cara Dune here because I feel it is important, and then I accidentally put all the damage into Stormtrooper. That should have gone into Grief Karga. I made a mistake. AoEs, once again, should control those Stormtroopers, and we can go and move our targets over to Moff Gideon. Whenever he's available, just go full send on Gideon, okay? So we've got our Child's Protection over here. I place it on Cara Dune because I want her to survive. Her being able to do those AoEs and those stuns is pivotal. Healing up with Grief afterwards, nice little bit of counterattack action there, and just focus on Moff Gideon. Constantly focus on Moff Gideon. Okay, we got some nice counterattacks coming out there. More AoEs, more damage. You can see Grief is getting nearly dead, and that big AoE ability there, just taking out Cara Dune and Grief Karga, was just a little bit brutal. So we're just down to IG-11 and our Mando, essentially. Into Whistling Birds, I'm taking a risk here. We do the AoE, focus entirely on Moff Gideon, and because we are taunting with IG-11, they can't attack anybody else. Once again, damage immunity on IG-11, that protects us as well, so we're safe for now. Big heals coming in on our Mando, and we just need a little bit of damage on that Moff Gideon. So keep on doing basics. He's got some dots on him now, and he has got heal immunity and low health. So all he needs to do is take a turn, and that should be it. I go into Whistling Birds just in case, but the damage over times gets the job done. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. We managed to get it done, sorted, beautiful, really low gear, and I'm one step closer to getting my Executor done. Hopefully, you are now also one step closer to getting your Executor on your early game account. If this video was useful to you, please do hit that like button, leave me a comment down below, and I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.